Welcome to Quebec. We've come to Canada, where we are visiting the annual Quebec Summer Music Festival, a musical extravaganza in the heart of a UNESCO World Heritage City. We'll also venture outside the historic area to enjoy the beauty of nature at Mont Sainte-Anne and the Canyon of Sainte-Anne.
My name is Michel Arsenault. We're now inside the Tourist Information Office in Quebec, and from here people could start their tour by getting all the information that they need prior to go out and get lost in the streets of Quebec and enjoy the beautiful city that we have here. And we're going to see a few parts of Quebec today. We'll see the St. Lawrence River, which is the third largest river on the continent, 3,600 kilometers in total length. It starts with the Great Lakes, and with all the rivers throw themselves into it, here in front of Quebec we have fresh water. And at the other end of the island of Orleans, we start having a mixture of fresh water and salt water. So it gives you an idea. The Atlantic Ocean comes into the continent up to 1,300 kilometers. In the wintertime, water will freeze up. It'll give us ice as deep as 1 meter. So we'll have the Coast Guard that will keep the channel open in between Quebec and Montreal to allow maritime traffic. And also with the Winter Carnival, we'll have a canoe race on the ice, which is quite interesting. The Parliament building, which is one of the interesting buildings that we have here, was built by Etienne Taché, an architect who was in the 1800s insulted by a British governor who had come here to Quebec to visit and said of the French-Canadian people that they were a people with no education, no culture, no knowledge of their origin or their past. Decided to wait for his chance for revenge, and just a few years later, luckily for him, they offered him the contract to design and build the Parliament building. So he decided to include all the elements of our history onto the building and also inside of it, and it is quite the beautiful building that we have here in Quebec. Also the Chateau Frontenac, part of our beautiful history here, built in 1893 by the Canadian Pacific Company at the time that they were building the railway crossing the country from coast to coast with hotels all along the railway. Also, we have the Summer Festival, which is happening right now, which is quite interesting. We have international music that's happening. We have concerts throughout the evenings, also during the day on weekends. So quite interesting for the people of Quebec and also all the tourists that come here during the summertime to visit our beautiful city. So Quebec City is a very interesting city. It's quite touristic, quite historic. We have a lot of museums here. We have the Quebec Art Museum, the Civilization Center. We have interpretation centers throughout the city that are open throughout the summertime so people could visit and learn a little bit more about specific things all around town and enjoy their stay here and learn more about the people of Quebec and our background and our history. So inside the old part of Quebec, you'll see some very beautiful buildings. We've been doing restorations here for the last 15, 20 years. A lot of the buildings are being converted into boutiques, stores. We have a lot of good restaurants, nice hotels, bed and breakfasts are open up all over the town. A lot of interesting stuff here for the tourists, and throughout the year we have tourism here. But in the wintertime, a lot of people will enjoy the cold weather that we have here. They'll come skiing, they'll come do some snowmobile rides, so we have tourists here throughout the year in Quebec City. On one of our city tours, you will get to see the Plains of Abraham. We'll stop to see the river. We'll see the mountain ranges that surround us. We'll see the interior of the fortification, the Chateau Frontenac. We'll see the Place Royale, which is a beautiful part of Quebec that's been fully restored in 1975 by the three levels of government, and it really looks like France in the 1600s. So people come on DuPont sightseeing tours. We have people that come from all over the world. We have people from England that come to see, their ancestors that made it here. A lot of people from France. We have people from Sweden, people from Japan. People really from all over the world come to visit Quebec to see the beauty of our city. What impresses the tourists the most, I would say, Place Royale, which is absolutely beautiful. It's like being in France, but here in Quebec. Bonjour, my name is Michel Arsenault. Welcome to my city. Come and visit beautiful Quebec City. You're sure to enjoy it.
Traveling with me from Southern California is Dina Gadan. Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Real fine, thanks. Are you having fun?
Yes, it's nice to be in a new country. It's very different.
What are you planning to see and do here?
I plan to learn about the culture here and the beautiful city and, of course, the festival.
Indeed. Who are you planning to hear?
I've been asking around people my age, and they say that Plume Latraverse and Luc Miravel are the artists to see, so...
Indeed, those are very famous Quebecois, so I'm looking forward to hearing them too. Shall we take off and enjoy some of the activities?
Yes.
Great, let's go.
Well, bonjour and welcome to Quebec City. Bienvenue à Québec. You know, Quebec City, I think, has a lot to offer for visitors who come from the United States, because it's all of a sudden you're just, you know, traveling for a few hours and you're out in a completely different culture. In the surroundings that's in Quebec City specifically is very interesting in a sense. It's the only walled city north of Mexico. So that makes it a city that you have a feeling you're in Europe and you have a feeling you're in North America, both in the same city. So that's something which is, and we're going to have an accent like I do, because basically a lot of people in Quebec speak French as their native language. What's fascinating about Quebec City, just imagine a melange of different kind of architecture, because they're all, you know, the area where Champlain lived, it's all been rebuilt. So that area feels a lot like New France. And you see what happened in the history. In 1759, there was a very important battle that was fought in Quebec City, which actually that changed the course of history in North America, because from being a French colony, then Quebec became a British colony. And of course, the architecture followed that pattern. So you have a sort of a 3 or even like 400 years of history that are right in front of you. And Quebec City was so good, actually. There was so much renovation and restoration that was done that in 1985, we became a World Heritage Treasure. You know, that's UNESCO that gives that title to some cities. Just to give you an example, we're talking the older part of Jerusalem or some part of Rome. So really, it means that the city has a meaning to mankind.